Have you ever announced a big goal on social media, felt amazing from all the likes and comments, and then never actually did it? Maybe you posted, "Starting my fitness journey," but quit after a week. Maybe you announced, "Writing my book this year," but the document is still blank. Or maybe you told everyone about your business idea, and 2 years later, you're still working on it. Here's the truth. The more you talk about your goals, the less likely you are to achieve them. And this story will show you exactly why. Stay with me. Once in a bustling village known for its craftsmen and traders, there lived two childhood friends, Raj and Amir. Both were 25 years old, hardworking, and full of dreams. One day, they both decided they wanted the same thing, to open their own shops and become successful merchants. They stood together in the village square, looking at an empty storefront, and made a pact. "In 1 year," Raj said, "we'll both have our own businesses." "Agreed," Amir replied. 1 year from today, they shook hands. Same dream, same timeline, same starting point, but what happened next showed the difference between announcing and achieving. The very next day, Raj walked through the marketplace, telling everyone he met, "I'm opening a spice trading business. I've already planned everything. I'll have the biggest shop in the village within a year." People congratulated him. They praised his ambition. They told him how successful he would be. Raj felt incredible. The validation was intoxicating. Amir, on the other hand, said nothing. When people asked, "What are you up to these days?" he simply replied, "Working on something. I'll show you when it's ready." And then he went back to work. Over the following months, the village watched two very different journeys. Every week, Raj had a new announcement. "I met with a potential supplier today. This is going to be huge. I'm designing the perfect shop layout. Look at my sketches. I'm reading books about business. I'm learning so much." He spent hours in the tea house, telling anyone who would listen about his plans, his strategies, his vision. People were impressed. They called him ambitious, visionary, smart. But here's what Raj didn't notice. Every time he announced a step, he felt the satisfaction of achievement. Without actually achieving anything, every time someone said, "Wow, Raj, you're going to be so successful," his brain released the same chemicals it would have released if he had actually done the work. He was getting the reward without the result. Weeks became months. Raj was still talking about his supplier meetings, but he hadn't signed any contracts. He was still showing his shop designs, but he hadn't rented a space. He was still reading books, but he hadn't bought a single bag of spices. The announcements continued. The progress didn't. Meanwhile, Amir disappeared. Not literally. He was still in the village. But he stopped socializing. He stopped going to the tea house. When people asked him about his business, he gave short answers. Coming along or not ready yet. Some people forgot about his goal entirely. But while Raj was talking, Amir was working. At 5 a.m., before the village woke, Amir was meeting with suppliers. While Raj sketched designs, Amir signed contracts. While Raj read books about business, Amir was buying inventory, negotiating rent, building shelves, testing products. He made mistakes. He faced setbacks. Some days were frustrating and exhausting, but he didn't announce any of it. He didn't post about his struggles for sympathy. He didn't share his small wins for validation. He just worked day after day. In silence, people started to forget about Amir's plan. They assumed he had given up, that he was just another person with big dreams but no follow-through. Meanwhile, they still believed in Raj because he was still talking, still planning, still working on it. One day, about 9 months into the year, Raj walked past the empty storefront they had both dreamed about. Still available, he thought. I should probably start seriously looking at spaces soon. Maybe next month. He had been about to start for 9 months. That evening, Amir walked past the same storefront and handed the landlord a key deposit. Exactly 1 year from the day they made their pact, the village square was buzzing with excitement. A new shop was opening, Amir's Spice House. The storefront was beautiful, shelves lined with colorful spices from distant regions. The smell of cardamom, saffron, and cinnamon filled the air. Customers were already lined up, eager to buy. Amir stood at the door, humble and quiet, welcoming people in. The village was shocked. When did this happen? They asked each other. We didn't even know he was working on this. That's exactly the point. Raj stood at the back of the crowd, watching. His heart sank. A year ago, they had made the same promise. They had the same dream. They started at the same place. But today, Amir was a business owner. And Raj? He was still planning, still talking, still about to start. After the opening celebration, Raj approached Amir. How did you do it? He asked, his voice barely a whisper. I was working too. I was planning, learning, preparing. Amir looked at his old friend with kindness, not judgment. Raj, you were doing something, yes, but you were doing the wrong thing. What do you mean? You were feeding your ego with announcements. I was feeding my business with action. He continued. Every time you told someone about your plan, your brain thought you had already succeeded. You got the applause, the validation, the congratulations, all before doing anything real. That announcement dopamine is dangerous. It tricks you into thinking you're making progress when you're just making noise. I stayed silent because I needed all my energy for the work, not for the performance. I didn't want applause for my plans. I wanted results from my actions. Raj understood. Finally, painfully, he understood. He had spent a year building an image. Amir had spent a year building a business. My friend, this is not just an old story. This is your story. This is our story. We live in an age of announcement. Post your goals, share your journey, update your followers, and every like, every comment, every "you got this" gives you a tiny hit of accomplishment. Without the accomplishment, here's what psychology tells us. When you announce a goal, your brain experiences something called social reality. You've told people, so in your mind, it's partially real already. The pressure to actually do it decreases because you've already received the social reward. Studies show that people who talk about their goals are less likely to achieve them than people who keep them private. Silence is not about secrecy. It's about focus when you work in silence. First, all your energy goes into the work, not into explaining the work. Second, you avoid premature accountability. No one is watching, so there's no shame in pivoting, adjusting, or even failing privately while you learn. Third, your results speak louder than your announcements ever could. Think about it. A tree doesn't announce it's going to grow. It just grows, and one day you look up and see it towering above you. A river doesn't tell you where it's going. It just flows, and eventually it reaches the ocean. The most powerful entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders share one habit. They build in private. They reveal in public. They don't tell you what they're going to do. They show you what they've done. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 90 days, choose one goal. Just one. Don't post about it. Don't tell your friends. Don't announce it to the world. Work on it in complete silence. Wake up, do the work, go to sleep, repeat. And 90 days from now, don't tell people what you're going to do. Show them what you did. I promise you this. The satisfaction of showing results is 1,000 times more powerful than the validation of announcing intentions. Remember, Amir and Raj. Same dream. Same starting point. Different approach. One talked. One worked. One got applause. One got results. If this story changed how you think about your goals, give this video a like right now, but don't comment what your goal is. Keep it to yourself. That's the whole point. Share this video with someone who announces more than they accomplish. Maybe it's the wake-up call they need. And subscribe to this channel for more stories that challenge how you think about success. Until next time, remember this. Talk less. Work more. Let your results do the talking. The world doesn't need another announcement. It needs your finished work. Stop performing your ambition. Start proving it.